Right now, we're going to move on to our GMA cover story. It's on gambling in teens. Surprisingly, teens are 2 times more likely to develop a gambling problem than adults. Online access makes it even more dangerous. Juju Chang here with the story. Good morning, Juju.
Good morning, George. Good morning, everybody. You know, online gambling is everywhere. And as a mom to 3 young men, I'm well aware that teen brains are more vulnerable to gambling addiction than adults. Last year, I spoke with a teen candidly about his online sports betting addiction and how it nearly derailed his life. Recovery has been rough for him and his dad, so we've changed their names, their voices, and their faces to help hide their identity.
It usually starts with that huge adrenaline rush.
It hasn't been a straight path to recovery for the now 19-year-old we're calling Steve. He first opened up to GMA last year about his illegal online gambling addiction that he says began at age 15. He asked not to show his face and for his voice to be altered to help hide his identity.
If you have a phone on you and you have connection to the internet, you can gamble whenever you want.
Now, after 3 months of rehab and continued work with the Gamblers Anonymous 12-step program, a fresh perspective.
You seemed optimistic a year ago. What happened?
I really felt like I had put it behind me.
But Steve says he once again got swept up in online betting.
It was just the temptation of sports betting, you know, all the ads. I'm not going to say that the ads are the reason I did it, but just constantly being reminded of it.
Online sports betting is now legal and active in 24 states, plus D.C., and 5 more states are being launched this year.
So right now, the expansion of gambling, expansion of the acceptance, the promotion of gambling behavior, we're introducing a potentially addictive disorder at a very early age, and yet designed for 21 and older.
The legal age for gambling in the U.S. is 18 or 21, depending on the state and the types of games.
Technically, you're still a teenager. It's still illegal.
It is. They're like these little underground hidden sites that make it easy for someone that is underage that wants to gamble.
After the relapse, Steve says he's been clean for a month and is starting college, where he plans to stay vigilant with his sponsor.
What do you do instead of gambling?
Exercising, working out, playing basketball, staying on top of my grades, and actually working on the relationships in my life.
Steve's dad, who we're calling Martin, also asked to have his voice altered to protect his identity. Martin says he himself no longer bets and wishes he never allowed it in his home.
We had a fantasy football league. You know, in retrospect, wouldn't have normalized it even to the level that we did, which, again, for a lot of people, it might have been okay, but in this case, it wasn't.
Experts say it's harder to reach and educate those who gamble online about responsible gambling, and warn that the increased visibility and acceptance in our culture could lead to younger exposure and possible addiction down the road.
We're seeing younger and younger clients presenting to treatment, 15, 16, 17-year-olds with gambling disorders that previously we had never seen before.
We reached out to the American Gambling Association, who told ABC News the legal gaming industry is committed to protecting young adults through age verification, marketing limitations, and responsible gaming measures. The same cannot be said for the vast illegal offshore gambling market.
How easy is it for a teenager to hide that kind of gambling addiction from their parents?
Oh, it's very easy. There's that one addiction that you can't necessarily see or smell on them. You really need the addict to be honest about it.
And how does a parent get a child to be honest about it?
Encourage them that whatever it is that they're dealing with, you're there to listen, you have their back, you're there to support them.
Because your parents have had your back the whole way.
Absolutely.
It's so vital to know you are not alone. If you or a loved one is struggling with problem gambling, call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at the number that you see on the screen, or go to ncpgambling.org. Confidential support is available 24/7. Guys, there is no quick fix.
Boy, no. Michael, you said it started out so innocently.
Yeah.
Fantasy football at home with your family.
Yep.
And then turned into that.
Thank you, Juju.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.